Hello, I'm Miguel Reynaga, a biologist from Mexico. Thank you for having me in this Juneteenth conference. I'm glad to be here sharing with you some of my work and experience with technology as a part of a minority. And today, I'm going to share with you this presentation. The presentation's title is Finding Fish Schools with Artificial Intelligence. Again, my name is Miguel Reynaga, and you can find me at miguelreynaga.com. As a context, there is a major environmental crisis worldwide. That's why we call this period of time as Anthropocene to acknowledge, to indicate that the problems, if specifically the environmental problems that we are facing today, are caused by humans. Secondly, there is an incompatibility between interests from society and nature that generates environmental conflicts. These conflicts have always existed. However, they haven't been studied until the 60s. In this photograph, we can see a fisherman from the place where I work. This place is the Sontecomapan Lagoon. The Sontecomapan Lagoon is located at the south of Mexico in the state of Veracruz in Los Tuxtlas area. It has a connection with the Gulf of Mexico, and it is also a Ramsar site and part of Los Tuxtlas Biosphere Reserve. Additionally, Sontecomapan holds an important fishing activity based on 5 cooperatives with around 1,000 fishermen. Currently, Sontecomapan faces problems such as overfishing that impacts directly in the economy and welfare of the community and, of course, nature. The big problem in Sontecomapan, well, first of all, is that there is overfishing. This means that there is a lot of fishing. Actually, some authors call overfishing as just fishing. Secondly, there are irregular fishermen that compete with legal groups. This, of course, brings a lot of problems between them in the area. And the other problem is that they capture a small sized fish with less commercial value and, of course, negative effects in fish populations. And well, one of the biggest problems also is that there is no profit. So, why using artificial intelligence? Well, environmental conflicts are hard to tackle from a monodisciplinary perspective. So, a complex systems perspective could help us to understand the problem that Sontecomapan Lagoon is actually facing and how to solve it. And more advanced and low-cost technology could boost profit by reducing the time looking for fish and saving fuel with this. As part of the method, we selected 10 spots around Sontecomapan. Here are the 10 spots: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And from those spots, we collected ecological and fish data, data such as temperature, salinity, nutrients, orthophosphates, uh, a total of 31 ecological attributes. With that information, we selected 6 species but grouped them in three sets by common name: Abbas, Sol, and Mohar. We create classes in which we apply three algorithms: multi-layer perceptron, support vector machine in J48. After that, we selected and reduced numbers of variables to get better results. The general model of the neural network we used uh, in the context of artificial intelligence to find fish schools. There are three layers in this general model. The first one is the input layer with six groups of attributes, such as fish properties, general properties of water, environmental properties, and that. Then a black box layer, then an output layer that is this one and will show one or more spots of the leg with available fish. That means that with the algorithm, we can select a fish and then get the spot in which the fish will be most probably available or available. And the final purpose of this kind of projects, where we use technology as a way to improve conditions, is to increase social ecological welfare, which means to conserve attributes and conditions of existence that allows the fulfillment of the more basic needs for the society and nature. This is a photo of the Sontecomapan Lagoon, and well, we can make a reflection about this experience. In my case, I have experienced lack of recognition in academic environments. Another thing is that there are less opportunities to publish as a minority in the tech and science environment. And also, there are a lot of barriers between other academic circles. First of all, the barrier about language, a financial barrier, and all of these barriers as a group affects directly the way some people from a minority can develop in the technology or scientific environment. For example, uh, this project about the use of artificial intelligence to find future schools haven't been finished, and we haven't proved the algorithm in the lagoon because there is a lack of interest from in my university, maybe because they are not familiarized with complex systems, and sometimes I think it's because they think that it's not possible to develop a project which requires social, biological, and technological research. I think this sometimes is related to these barriers I'm talking about, because it is different if someone from abroad comes to my country or my university and say we can do this and we can do this project this way, and they listen to him or her just because he's from Europe or because he's white. So there are some silent problems that we are facing in science. Even though we are currently making projects, we are still facing a lot of barriers, because sometimes there is a general idea that science should came from white people or from developed countries, but there is a lot of science that is flourishing right now in a lot of Latin American countries, and not just because they are Hispanics. This the science they are making is less valuable. And that's my final reflection in this presentation. Thank you.